This is the first time in a while that Bitcoin and crypto has dumped across the entire weekend. This is of course because of Trump's tariffs that are coming this week. In today's video, we'll be discussing exactly that. We'll be going over the Bitcoin price action and the key levels that you should be looking at if you're trading this market. And we'll also cover some of the most important news. Some more news came out today about the tariffs. It's about to be a very volatile week. If you enjoyed the content, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe. Without further ado, let's jump right into the video. So these are the next big events that you need to keep your eyes on. April 2nd, tariffs, which is just 2 days from now. Then on April 4th, we have some more unemployment data. On April 10th, which is next week, we have some inflation data. So make sure you're ready because this is about to get very volatile. So taking a look at some news that we saw. First of all, I woke up this morning and I saw that Trump said that reciprocal tariffs will be imposed on all countries. This isn't just a few countries, it's all countries, which is crazy. Now, if we take a look at some more concerns coming out of Goldman Sachs, they recently increased the US recession odds to 35%, which is up 15% from September 2023. Are they just hedging here? Will this actually come to fruition? Only time will tell. But this morning as well, we saw that Japan's stock market plunged 4% ahead of Trump's Liberation Day, which is just in 2 days from now, I'll remind you. Also, pre-market is very red. As we can see, we keep on bleeding ahead of these tariffs. I think the market is very concerned at the moment and they're just waiting to see what will happen on the other side of these tariffs, which makes sense. We're bleeding across all markets. Now, I know that you're here for crypto, so we'll cover that. But right now, what we're looking at on this Bitcoin chart is that we're coming closer to a potential support level for Bitcoin, which is right around this $81,000. As we discussed, we wicked here when we were forming this rising wedge, and this could potentially act as temporary support. But the markets are looking extremely bloody at the moment, and so it wouldn't surprise me if we just break past through here and target the range low right around $76,500 before we potentially move lower. No one can tell you with certainty what will happen, but given this most recent price action, given this total breakdown, and given what's happening with the tariffs, I think that it's more than likely that we head lower. And if I bring you back to the S&P 500, we're going to be opening this week at the highest percentage away from the 200-day moving average since 2022. So what we saw historically is that if we get rejected from the 200-day moving average, it does confirm that stocks will go much, much lower. As we can see here, this happened around March 2022. We got rejected at this blue line, and then we ended up going lower and lower and lower, marked a little bit of a low here, pumped back, got rejected once more, and then we finally put in that final low before stocks went ahead and moved higher. So every time that we're below the 200-day moving average, it's a very crucial time in the market. Right now, if I zoom in, what we can see here is that we did get rejected from the 200-day moving average. So potentially this is the start of a bigger move down for stocks. And as we've been discussing on the channel, stocks are heavily correlated with crypto, especially at this point in the market. And that reminds me that I have to remind you, gold has continued to make a new all-time high, which is historically a risk-off signal. Be careful with influencers telling you that just because gold is soaring, Bitcoin will follow after. Uncertainty is not good for risk assets like Bitcoin. And at the bottom of this tweet, I also said, I do subscribe to the idea that Bitcoin is the gold of the 21st century, but it's still not trading like it yet. We are still early for Bitcoin to be trading like that. We'll get there eventually, but the fact is we're not there yet. Until then, it acts as a more volatile version of stocks, which I'm sure you know by now if you've been subscribed to the channel. But basically, this is the next key level that we want to see. Hopefully, Bitcoin can hold this level right around $81,000, but I'm not particularly betting on it. I am, however, trading this market, and if you'd like to trade the market with me, make sure to click the first link in my description down below. It brings you directly to weeks where you can earn a 50% deposit bonus. That means that if you deposit $2,000 into your week's account, you get $1,000 back for trading purposes. It's very easy to sign up. All you need is an email and a password, and if you're trading crypto anyways, you might as well sign up. And also, the second link in my description brings you directly to BitFi, which is another solid crypto exchange. You get a 15% bonus cashback if you sign up with me with the second link in my description down below. And all you need once again is an email and a password to sign up. Yes, it really is that easy. Back to the Bitcoin chart, I think we're going to go lower, and here are the conditions for me to be bullish again. Just a little reminder, because it's been a while since I shared these conditions, and I actually added one, you'll notice. So 1, reclaiming the 200-day moving average as support. Now the 200-day moving average is right here, this turquoise bluish line over here. Then we have reclaiming the 86.5K to 87.5K level, which is this orange box over here that we marked on the chart. And it worked out to perfection because we can see that as soon as we got to this box, Bitcoin did hesitate. It was trying to hold it as support, but ultimately we ended up breaking much lower. Then the next level would be to reclaim the bull market support band, which is this band over here, the red line at the top and the green line over here. If we can hold this as support, it would be very positive for Bitcoin. But as we can see, we wicked to that level, got rejected, and now we are moving lower. And the last thing that is the most important level for me to be all guns blazing, full bullish for Bitcoin, targeting a new all-time high, it would be to hold the 91.8K range. And if you're questioning why that is, we tapped into this range as support several times once we were establishing this much bigger range, targeting Bitcoin's all-time high. So if we come back above this range over here, let's say we get a pump after revisiting the lows, back above here, hold it as support, I would be targeting a new all-time high for Bitcoin, and I would be longing the market. And that reminds me, I know you're tired and I know it's getting exhausting in these markets. But what I do know is that if you continuously tune into the markets and wait for the trend to shift around, that is when you get rewarded. Right now, there is hardly anyone in the crypto space, but usually when you're paying attention as retail steps away from the space, that is where you can find the true gems and really start outperforming the rest of the market. I told myself that I would not become an influencer that just yells that things are bullish when they're clearly not looking that way. And what I mean by this is that yes, I've been reading your comments. We have Mariana over here who commented on my X account saying that she can't wait for some bullish news to come from me. Since she watches the channel, there has only been bearish sentiment. Now you'll remember that earlier in the channel's days, I was talking about some bullish meme coins, which we made a lot of profit on. But since then, the market did shift. And right now, this is where we're at. I desperately want to be bullish. And when it's time to flip, I will. But I also have a responsibility to be as honest as possible. I made a commitment to myself that I won't just be one of those influencers that says everything is bullish when it's simply not the case. And look, it's actually in my best interest to be as bullish as possible because I've been tracking the analytics. Whenever we're bullish and whenever I post a bullish video, we see more growth and more monetization. So look, the stats don't lie, but I will simply not lie to you. It doesn't matter if my growth is slower. If the markets are bearish, I will share with you how I'm navigating these markets and what my outlook currently is. I hope you can appreciate that because I will be here every single day covering the markets for you. And that sums up today's quick video. Pre-markets are red and Bitcoin is not looking super positive. We are now at a crucial level of support around $81,000, but I would be willing to bet that this level will likely break ahead of Trump's tariffs on April 2nd. Now, we did discuss in a previous video that we could potentially see a pump on April 2nd or shortly after in case the market is overreacting. But I do think that it's likely that we end up resorting lower before we see a sustainable bounce for Bitcoin. As always, if you enjoy the content, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe. And if you haven't already, make sure to join my free Telegram group down below where I share some market analysis on a daily basis. I'll see you in tomorrow's video.